You ever get that feeling, like something just isn't right? Like you're in a relationship or maybe just talking to someone, and slowly, almost without noticing, you're losing yourself. Your time, your energy, even your confidence. It's slipping, and you can't quite figure out how or why. You're still you, but somehow not. You feel like a puppet and can't see the strings. This isn't about blaming women. Let's be clear. This isn't some toxic rant about how all women are manipulators. It's not that. What we're talking about today is awareness, power, control, not over someone else but over yourself. We're diving deep into some of the darkest manipulation tactics that can be used, yes, often by women, but not only, and how Stoicism, a philosophy born thousands of years ago, can make you untouchable. So grab your focus, lock in, because by the end of this video, you're going to see things differently. Let me tell you a story, not a dramatic one, not something from a movie, but a real-life story that plays out in quiet bedrooms, late-night texts, social media DMs, and long conversations where you feel like you're pouring yourself out, but never getting filled back. There was a guy, let's call him Jake, smart guy, confident, not arrogant, just had his life mostly together. He meets this woman, beautiful, charming, and sharp. At first, everything feels perfect. She's attentive, curious, always texting. Him, laughing at his jokes, leaning in when they talk. He feels like he's on top of the world. But then, slowly, things shift. The attention turns into tests. The warmth turns into cold distance when he doesn't respond the way she wants. She starts pulling back, subtly. Just enough to make him wonder what he did wrong. Just enough to make him chase her approval. And here's where it gets dark. Because it's not about her being evil. It's about power. It's about control. And Jake doesn't even realize he gave his away. He starts walking on eggshells, overthinking, becoming someone he's not just to please her. And he's hooked, not because she loves him, but because she's mastered the art of making him feel like he's about to lose something, even if he never truly had it. That's manipulation. That's emotional control. And it happens more than people want to admit. You ever heard of intermittent reinforcement? It's a psychology term, and it's deadly when used for manipulation. Basically, it's when you give someone what they want, attention, affection, praise, but only, sometimes, randomly, just enough to keep them addicted, like a slot machine. You never know when the next win is coming, so you keep pulling the lever. A woman who understands this, even instinctively, can keep a man chasing her endlessly, because he remembers how good it felt in the beginning, and he's convinced, if he just does the right thing, he can get back to that feeling, but he never does, because it was never about real connection. It was about control. And then there's gaslighting, that subtle, twisted art of making you doubt your own reality. You bring up something that felt off. Maybe she flirted with someone in front of you, and she flips it. You're being insecure, she says. You're imagining things. I can't even talk to people now? You start questioning yourself. You lose trust in your own judgment. And once someone gets you to that place, they don't have to control you. You do it yourself. You keep yourself small, silent, safe, just so you don't lose them. That's darkness. And most of the time, it doesn't come with yelling or threats. It comes dressed up in charm, seduction, sweet words, and subtle digs. Now let me ask you something. What if you were immune to all of that? What if none of it could touch you? Enter Stoicism. Stoicism isn't about being cold. It's not about being emotionless or turning into a robot. It's about being centered, unshakable. It's about understanding what you control and what you don't. And most of all, it's about protecting your peace. A Stoic man doesn't react wildly to tests. He doesn't chase approval. He doesn't get pulled into games because he sees the game for what it is. Back to Jake. If Jake had been practicing Stoicism, he would have noticed the shift. He would have seen the emotional bait, and he would have paused, breathed, observed. Instead of trying to please her, he would have stood firm in who he is. And if that wasn't enough for her, he would have let her go, without fear, without begging, without losing himself. That's power. Here's the thing, some women don't even know they're doing it. They've just learned, consciously or not, how to test a man's strength, how to see if he'll bend, how to find where he breaks. And if a man's sense of self depends on their approval, he will always be breakable. There's the silent treatment, the sudden withdrawal, the shift in tone, the passive-aggressive comment designed to make you chase her, ask what's wrong, try harder. But a Stoic doesn't play that game. He sees the silence and fills it with peace, not panic. There's the damsel in distress act, where she constantly plays the victim, even when she's the one starting the fires. She'll flip the script so many times you forget who started what. But again, the Stoic man steps back. He doesn't get pulled into emotional whirlpools. He watches, he listens, he speaks clearly, he sets boundaries. Stoicism is like armor, not to hide behind, but to protect what matters, your energy, your clarity, your direction in life. Let me bring this down to earth. Next time you're feeling manipulated, don't react right away. That's what manipulation feeds on, your reaction. Instead, take a breath. Ask yourself, what's actually happening here? Not what you feel is happening, but what's real. If she pulls back, let her. If she blames you for something you didn't do, calmly stand in the truth. If she flirts with other guys to get a rise out of you, don't give her the satisfaction. Not because you don't care, but because you do care about yourself. You don't fight manipulation by arguing. You fight it with stillness, with standards, with the kind of silence that says, I know who I am. You don't get to shake that. There's a reason Stoicism has survived for over 2,000 years. Because it works. In a world full of emotional chaos, it gives you a foundation. Manipulation, especially the kind that's dressed up in beauty and charm, is real. It's subtle, it's powerful. But so are you. If you're willing to see clearly, stand firmly, and never hand your peace over to anyone. You deserve relationships that are built on truth, on mutual respect, on depth, not deception. But the only way you'll ever have those is if you stop chasing illusions and start honoring your own value. Jake learned it the hard way. Maybe you did too. But today, right now, you have a choice. To become the kind of man who can't be shaken, not by silence, not by games, not by the push and pull of someone else's confusion. You become that man by mastering yourself. That's Stoicism. That's power. And that's how you become truly untouchable,